Alright guys, how are you all doing today? It's Jake Reed coming at you guys with another how-to video here on Call of Duty Black Ops 4. I wanted to continue the series from where I was before. A viewer had requested that I upload a video on kind of a demonstration or a guide on how to use different weapons in the game. We covered the assault rifles already, and I wanted to go ahead and show you, just for the sake of showing you, that I do have the diamond unlock now for the assault rifles. So through 3rd prestige here, I actually unlocked it just prior to prestiging. So through 2 prestiges, I was able to unlock that actually very quickly. So that's just a testament to the fact that I know what I'm doing and I know what I'm talking about. So what I wanted to do today was get into the light machine guns and what you're going to want to do to use the light machine guns and be successful with the light machine guns. Now, these are going to actually probably be a little bit more quick because of the fact that there's only 3 light machine guns here in the game. So this is going to be a little bit of a shorter video going over it real quickly. To start off with, as I always do, I'm going to run through the class setup. So, as I usually say, run a rocket launcher as your secondary here, just because it's going to help you get kill streaks. It's going to help you control the flow of a game. By building up the score from shooting down UAVs, attack choppers, it's going to keep you alive. Run the Hellion Salvo as your secondary, just because it's an extreme utility piece. If you need more information on that, go check out my previous videos on this. I explain it a little bit more in depth, but trust me, that's going to help you get the score, that's going to help you get score streaks, that's going to help your team control the flow of the game, that's going to put you in a position to be able to get kills easier. So that's the long and the short of it. And then use the ComSec device, which directly ties in. This reduces the cost of your score streaks. You should be convincing your friends to all use it because you want to have as many score streaks out as possible to be able to control the flow of the game, like I said, and put yourself in the best position to get kills with your primary weapon. Now, what I've been using, and these perks actually may vary a little bit depending on the light machine gun and depending on the strategy for the light machine gun, but first perk, I always use Engineer. You can also use Tactical Mask depending on if you're getting 9 banged a lot or concussed or whatever it may be. So you can make that decision there, but I use Engineer because it helps you see when you're shooting down score streaks. It helps point them out in the sky. You can see enemies' equipment to be able to destroy it easier, not run into trip mines and stuff like that. And you're going to be able to re-roll your care packages, which I will say time and time again in every single one of my videos, the care package is the most overpowered kill streak in this game because it allows you to get those high-level kill streaks for super cheap because there's so many lethal kill streaks in this game, and they're all a higher cost than the care package, and there's very few score streaks that you don't want to get out of the care package, so the chances of you getting something good out of it are extremely high. So that's what I do, that's what I run. You can choose to forego that and run Tactical Mask, because the primary goal of Engineer is to be able to help you help you see those score streaks in the sky, the UAVs and stuff quicker, and to be able to re-roll your care packages. So if you don't need that, then go ahead and put on Tactical Mask, I would suggest, because that reduces the effects of 9 bangs and concussions, which are very prevalent in this game. And then also I say that you always want to use Ghost because you want to hide from UAVs. And right now I actually wasn't using it because I didn't have it unlocked right away, but you want to run Dead Silence, and I'm actually going to go ahead and put that on this class when I get a chance here. I haven't decided what exactly I'm going to do, but what I typically do here is I go and I put on the additional perk slot and put on Dead Silence like this. So for the time being, what I was doing was running Lightweight just as a bridge perk because I needed to have something selected on my class. I didn't know exactly what I wanted to have selected, but I just selected Lightweight because it helps you get around better with the light machine guns, but you don't need it. You won't need it with any of the light machine guns, so this is the setup that you're going to want to run actually, I think with all the light machine guns. I don't think I have it varied for the other ones either. I'll run Engineer, Ghost, and Dead Silence because it's going to keep you off the enemy's minimap, keep you from being detected by the enemy's acoustic sensor, that directional indicator that it gives people that it isn't actually described on the game. And I'll show you what I'm talking about. So the acoustic sensor just says enemy movements are easier to hear. Now that's a lie. That's not what this, I mean, that's technically the truth, but it's also a lie in the fact that it doesn't tell the full story. The acoustic sensor in this game, whenever there is an enemy around you, it gives you a directional indicator as to where that enemy is if they're not running Dead Silence. So, everybody in this game seems to be running acoustic sensor. If you want to not be detected by them when you're trying to flank them or anything like that, or when you're nearby enemies, you need to have Dead Silence on. So this is what I run now on all of my classes: Ghost, Dead Silence, and Engineer. Now, as for the Titan light machine gun, which is where we'll start off with today, the Titan, and actually all of the light machine guns, are very powerful, very useful weapons. Honestly, you're going to love using them once you get used to the gameplay that you have to do with them. So in terms of the Titan, I'm actually running the variant, the Sandstorm, which you get from the black market, I forget the name of this thing, the tier here. But that's what you get for this. You get it somewhere, let me see here. You get it at level 50. Right at level 50 you'll get this, and in order to select that, you just, when you're clicking X on pick a weapon, you scroll up to use that variant. And so what I go ahead and do on the Sandstorm, because what this gun does is this gun excels in medium to long range. You're going to win a ton of gunfights because this thing is so powerful. This feels like a Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It feels like an Infinity War type of weapon because it kills in about 3 shots. It's very powerful. You're going to love it because you're going to win tons of gunfights with it. Now, you're not going to want to spray with it because your hip fire is not going to be that accurate, but you can win close range gunfights with it because of the fact that it's so powerful. More often than not, you'll get outgunned by some machine guns, but this gun is extremely powerful. Just know that with all of these light machine guns, you're going to be using them from medium to long range. Now, that varies a little bit between the Hades and the VKM, but the Titan is probably has the most defined medium to long range out of the 3 of them. And what I run on it is I find that the holographic sight is actually the better of the sights to use on it. You can actually get away with using the NVIR, which I believe is the thermal scope. The heat signatures, or a threat detector, or any of these. It has such low recoil that you can get away with using any of these sights. Now, if you're going to be using one of these sights, you're going to be sitting back and playing long range. If you're going to be playing medium to long range, playing the objective, you're going to want to use the reflex sight or the holographic. I find that the holographic makes it quite a bit more accurate than the reflex does, so I go with the holographic, and I just go ahead and choose my color on the holographic. I like the blue. And then for attachments, the quick draw is what you're going to want to do because that's going to help you in the medium and shorter range gunfights. And even longer range, you're going to want to, because of the fact that it has a slower fire rate and it hits hard, you want to get your sights on the target as quickly as possible because you want to melt them before they have a chance to shoot you back. Because of the slow fire rate, you need to get the first shot on, or you need to get an early shot on. So you want to have the quick draw on, and that goes probably for every single one of the light machine guns because that's the only way you're going to survive in the short to medium range gunfights where people are very close to you and you need to get your aim on super quick. Now, as for the second attachment, you can go ahead and run an extended mags or a stock. If you feel like you're not mobile enough, you could run the stock, or if you feel like you're running out of ammo and you don't like the reload time because this reloading is pretty slow with these, you can go ahead and run one of those. But the most effective thing to run on this gun is FMJ because you'll find yourself, more than any other gun in the game, getting yourself a ton of penetration kills with the light machine guns because they're so powerful. When you actually get the FMJ shooting through the walls, you actually do significant damage through a wall. Now, that's a lot different than an assault rifle, submachine gun. The FMJ on those can help you finish off kills, but you can't do heavy damage through a wall with those. You can do massive amounts of damage to people through walls if you know where they're at with the light machine guns because they pack such a high punch. So this is what I run, and I don't hold back when I run the Titan. I will get up in people's faces, and I will try to challenge people close range. But for the most part, with this gun, I stick in the medium to longer range gunfights because that's just kind of the best way to go about maximizing this gun's potential. Now, we'll go ahead and move on to the Hades, which I'm using right now. And I did actually want to comment, I'm going to have these things diamond pretty quickly because they are so powerful. I actually have everything unlocked for this except for the purple hex, which I can't do until I'm level 32, I believe, is when you unlock being able to have all these extra attachments on here. I need to do it when I have all 5 attachments on here, and I don't have the perks to be able to do that yet. I believe I'm missing this one. Yeah, so level 32 is when you can do that. So just keep that in mind for if you're trying to get these weapons gold, you need to be level 32 or have that primary gunfighter 3 unlocked. So moving on to the Hades. The Hades is a little bit of a different take on the light machine guns, and actually I'm going to go ahead and set up the exact same class that I had going with the other one. We want to take off the fast reload. So you want to set up the same exact class. You want to have the rocket launcher, ComSec device, the same perks. But what you're going to do with the Hades is you're going to actually put on the steady grip, which is going to increase your accuracy, and then you're going to keep the FMJ because, like I said, that's the most important thing for the light machine guns, is the fact that they can really pack a punch shooting through walls as opposed to other weapons in this game. You'll really notice yourself getting kills through walls when you put FMJ on this gun or on the Titan as opposed to other weapons in the game or the VKM. Now, what I do is I do the same thing, is I put a reflex on this. I haven't really tried out the hollow because it doesn't fit this. The thing that I will say is that when I used the Titan, when I was using the reflex sight on it, it felt like I could do with a little bit more accuracy. So I tried out the holographic and I loved it. It added a little bit more accuracy to it. Now, in terms of the Hades, I've used the reflex and it doesn't feel like I need any more accuracy. So I haven't tried any other sights. Don't get me wrong, if you feel more comfortable with other sights, go ahead and try them out. But I run the reflex, I run the steady grip and FMJ with the Hades. The Hades is a little bit different than the Titan in that this gun can actually run better. This gun runs well from short to almost long range. This gun has a much higher fire rate and I believe packs a little bit better of a punch because of the fact that it has that higher fire rate. So you're able to win close range gunfights with this weapon, and you're going to be able to win medium range gunfights, taking people out pretty quickly because of its high fire rate. You'll be a little bit less accurate at long range. Like I said, because of the higher fire rate, it does a little bit less damage per bullet. So keep that in mind. This is a gun you should feel totally comfortable with challenging people that are running submachine guns, because this gun has similar fire rate and it will shred people. So that's a little bit of a contrast from the Titan, where you want to be more medium to long range. The Hades, you want to be short to almost long range. You kind of want to avoid the super long range gunfights with the Hades because you're going to have a tough time actually taking people down at that range, unlike the Hades or the VKM. So that's pretty much what I have to say on that. I'm getting this one leveled up here as I go. I'm using this one while I wait to be level 32 to be able to finally get gold on this one. But I've been using it quite a bit, and that seems like pretty much the way to go. The next thing that I will say on it is that the operator mod on this weapon, as you can see on the right over here, the operator mod, the crossbar. I don't know if you guys have experienced this at all in game to this point yet, But what the crossbar mod does is it makes it a hipfire weapon, and it's a little bit odd, but I definitely recommend you guys give it a try because it makes it a very, 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 very powerful weapon. If you're good with hipfire weapons, and I am, that crossbar mod is going to make that weapon almost god tier. It's incredible. It will outgun submachine guns. You'll just straight up be melting people with that thing. So super powerful. I recommend that you level this all the way up and try out the crossbar and see if you like the hip fire of it, because it's very accurate from hip fire and it does a ton of damage. It packs a huge punch. This weapon is absolutely phenomenal. And so is the Titan for that matter. They're both very, very good light machine guns. Now, those are probably the two most used light machine guns. The third light machine gun I actually don't have unlocked at the moment, and I've used it very little to this point, but I've used it quite a bit in zombies mode, and I have seen videos of people using it, and it's pretty much the typical light machine gun that you would expect. It's not too far off of the Titan. It actually packs a higher punch than the Titan, but fires a little bit slower. Now that's where I start to say that these things have a little bit of variation from each other. The Titan is basically what you would expect from a light machine gun. The Hades is more of a close range type of thing. The VKM is something you're going to want to only use medium to long range, pretty much the long range though. You're going to be sitting back because of the slow fire rate. You need the distance between you and the enemy to prevent them from getting as many shots on. This thing is extremely slow firing, but if you hit them a couple times, you're going to kill them. So this one is one that you would want to sit back extremely far and play this as an extremely long range type of weapon. You wouldn't really want to be running into objectives necessarily. You would want to be hanging around outside, picking people off. So Hades, that's the type of weapon you can run into an objective, you can run and gun, you can play it as if it's a submachine gun. The Titan, you're going to want to play it as if it's a souped up assault rifle. It's more of a little bit of a long range, medium range type of weapon. So very good weapon to use, very good weapon to sit behind cover and just pound away at people. And then the VKM, you're going to want to sit back and play that as a long range weapon. Now somebody commented on the video, so I'm going to go ahead and check that comment real quick. So that was the same viewer from before. Hold on, there's a mess. So that was Shallow Mouse 259, who was the person that recommended me putting up these videos. Yes, I will come at you with a video on some of the other weapons here later. This one was a little bit more of a quick video, just kind of explaining the light machine guns. But that's basically all I have to say for the light machine guns. They're very powerful weapons. They're often overlooked in Call of Duty games, so I would recommend, once you've maxed out the weapons that you really like to use, which it could be the assault rifles, the submachine guns, the attack rifles, whatever it may be, give the light machine guns a shot because they're all very powerful weapons and you'll succeed with them, trust me, because they pack a heavy punch and they feel really nice to use because they kill super quickly. So that's about all I have to say on the light machine guns. I'm actually going to head over and do another episode of the Assassin's Creed Odyssey Let's Play, so if you guys are interested, go catch me in that. I hope you guys have a good evening. I'll see you guys in the next video.